My name is Andrew from Dorkaholics, where we believe there's a dork in everyone, and it's our duty to bring the dork out into the world. So just to kick things off, we just wanted to know first, what made you a dork growing up?
Oh gosh, what didn't? Um, okay, let me ask you, how do you define dork? And then I can pare it down for you from
Well,
there.
I think the way that we define dork is just someone that's passionate about something that's like borderline like obsessive, but borderline passionate. So we're kind of like in the in between in
Yeah.
a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that the first thing that I was super passionate about, and obsessive about was Sailor Moon. I think I have over 1,000 cards. Like me and my cousins would go to Chinatown in those card dispenser
Uh,
things, and we'd have a bucket of quarters, and we'd just be like obsessively like just trying to get like the rare cards or whatever. So that was my big thing. And then, play dates and stuff, it'd just be us like watching Sailor Moon.
did you have a favorite one of the Sailor Moon characters?
I love Serena. I love Sailor Moon.
That's a
Yeah.
good choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we just want to say first, congratulations with all the success of, Avatar: Last Airbender. And the success is apparent because season 2 and 3 has now been just confirmed, which is kind of like unheard of. A lot of shows don't really get a season 2 and a 3 confirmed already. But with all of that, I know a lot of things are still up in the air. Could you tell us maybe something that you're kind of looking forward to see in season 2 and 3?
Tough. Like
Top.
no, yeah, there's like no if and or
The
buts.
Blind
So
Bandit.
I
Yes.
love her. I love that character so, so much. And more of Appa because he's adorable, Appa and Momo. But there's just so much. I mean, this season 2 and 3, we just get to see so much more character development, with the whole gang. And just to see them on the screen again is going to be great. And it's just a huge, huge congrats to them. They did the thing. Apparent, it's so apparent that they did the thing, and they deserve it.
Yes, they definitely do. And you too.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to, if you could walk through with us just what it felt like for auditioning for the role and also how it felt when you finally got that call.
Yeah, I was actually lucky that Michael, who was the EP on the show, tapped me for it. So he gave me a call and he said, I have this role. He didn't say which one, I don't think. I have this role for you in Avatar that I think would be absolutely perfect for you to do. And then I found out it was Avatar Kyoshi and I almost cried. Because it was great. And I'm just really grateful to him for championing me for the role.
So just forgive my language, first of all. I think your portrayal of Avatar Kyoshi was like totally badass.
Thank
Um,
you.
so from like the outfit and all the CGI that's also being used and the stunts as well, can you just explain the depth of work that kind of goes behind the scenes of like the costume designs, the VFX specialists, and the stunts that creating that scene, especially when you arrived?
It takes a village. It takes more than a Kyoshi village to figure all that stuff out. Fernaz, the costume head of department, was unbelievable in the detail. I've told people that there was stuff that you wouldn't have seen as fans, but they still took the time to give the detail to it because they cared so much and love the original cartoon. It was one of the highlights for me was stepping into that costume for the first time. It wasn't even completed, but enough was there for me to feel really emotional about it. It just really brought everything together for her. It was stepping into her skin, really. And the makeup design was hugely a part of that as well. It was a lot of fun to see that kind of go on your face and not even be able to recognize myself. So it was being able to be her.
Episode 2, finishing watching throughout the series. I think episode 2 was definitely my favorite, just because
Oh,
Avatar Kyoshi definitely is, one of our favorite avatars for sure. Um, and then just kind of want to go along as well with the live action adaptation because your previous work included working on the CW Kung Fu, which was also like kind of a reimagining of the 1972's version. So while this being like a adaptation of the animated series, working on from both of these projects, were there some similarities and also differences from your perspective?
um, for me, it was completely different. Completely different. I mean, they're two completely different intellectual properties, two different stories, completely two different characters. It was nice though that during the filming of Avatar, I was still working on Kung Fu, and really the only overlap there would have been the stunt work and the physicality of it. But even having said that, Kyoshi moves really differently from my character on Kung Fu Jalan. So it was two different worlds, and I'm kind of grateful for that because it's more fun that way. I get to be in two separate things. But yeah, for me, they were quite different.
Yeah, sure. And so lately we've just seen so many of these live action adaptations of like, childhood memories of like, animated series and everything with a large fan base. And obviously there are always going to be some changes and, not everything's going to be a one-for-one remake of the original. But what is so interesting, I felt like from the live action adaptation of Avatar for this one is that it culminated not only just the animated series, but also took sources from some of the Kyoshi novels
Yeah.
without, giving too much away. But so after watching the series, did you what were some favorite moments that you kind of enjoyed seeing that was additional from the live action compared to the
Ooh. Well, I
animation?
mean, I'm gonna be a little bit biased when it comes to the Kyoshi bits because I was just really grateful that they included me in that capacity. But I mean, you do see it in the animated series, but I really loved how they focused a lot of attention on the dynamic between Zuko and Iroh
Mhm,
and showing that almost fatherly son love that was there. I love that they showed how he got his scar, Zuko,
mhm.
and even at the very beginning, like setting the whole tone off of what actually happened to the Air Nation was pretty spectacular as well. So there's a lot of things I think that they really enriched this story or made it a little bit different. And then that way, people can also enjoy the source material and enjoy the live action and see something a little bit different that still is staying true to the original source material.
Gotcha. And I mean, with this role, there was a lot of research that you did for Avatar Kyoshi as well too. Would what would you recommend? Well, obviously you will also recommend the books and everything as well too. But was there any other comics or anything that you kind of looked up to kind of like get into the character of Avatar Kyoshi other than the books?
Well, for me, it was really important to look again at the source material for what we were creating, and that was Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I rewatched the entire series, paid close attention to how she was mentioned in that series, how she was portrayed in that series. I also really wanted to honor the fact of how the fans saw her. Um, so trying to put all those elements together and serve the story of Aang because that's what we were focusing on.
So breaking news, you are returning to the CW family, and congratulations on your new
Thank you.
role for Superman and Lois.
Thank you.
I know it's very early on, but could you tell us a little bit about what your role is going to be on Superman Lois?
Yeah, so she is the closest ally of Lex Luthor. She's been running Luthor Corps when Lex has been away in prison. So she's the brains behind that business, and she's just gonna cause a lot of trouble.
Mm. One of the last questions I have is just a very fun question, but in an earth-bending battle, who would win? Avatar Kyoshi, King Boomy, Bolin from Legend of Korra, Toph, or Yun?
My gut instinct is gonna say Yoon because, and a spoiler alert from the novels, Kyoshi had a lot of help to beat him, right? Until
Mm,
she got close enough to do something kind of scary. Um, he's really powerful. I mean, he was able to bend that element and make it look like water.
mm.
Again, sorry, spoiler. That is my kind of instinct for that. I mean, so I think that's where I would go.
Yeah, I mean, he's called a false avatar for a reason, right? So
Yeah,
I think
it's
definitely
scary.
Yun is a very strong character. Um, and we're also campaigning for you to get a live action series as well too,
Oh my
hoping to
gosh.
get that
Thanks, guys.
spin-off for Kyoshi because we want to see these books kind of come to life as well. And and having we picked out the perfect Kyoshi, obviously. So I think it's going to be a great ride to see what else the Avatar universe is going to bring.
Yeah, as a fan, I would love to see it. I have not heard anything, but thank you guys. It's really sweet of you to say.
Of course. Okay. Thank you so much, Yvonne.
Thank you. Thank you guys. It was a lot of fun. It's good to meet you.